Get ready for the cinematic showdown. We start with Hollywood's 2026 reckoning. We are diving deep into the high-stakes battle for relevance as we examine the massive budget endeavors poised to define the next year. We're looking at Project Hail Mary, where Ryland Grace faces a cosmic threat, and the intense creative challenge director Chris McKay faces in translating that scientific mystery into a compelling film. This is a deep dive into what it takes to succeed in today's blockbuster landscape.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we turn to the political pressure cooker affecting the industry. We're looking at California gubernatorial candidates bicker and squabble, but say little about Hollywood. We'll unpack what the debate revealed about the real issues facing the industry, including the fight over production jobs and the debate surrounding unlimited tax credits championed by figures like Katie Porter and Antonio Villaraigosa. In our third segment, we shift focus to the personal journey through the industry. We're talking about BRADY Bunch star Eve Plum and the single word that kept her safe from Hollywood burnout. Find out how her strong family dynamic helped her navigate the pressures of child stardom and the difficult transition to becoming an adult actor. And finally, we wrap up with the latest on the race for power. California governor candidates signal agreement on saving Hollywood. We break down the key strategies, from Steve Hilton's stance on tax rates to Xavier Becerra's defense of his record, and what this means for the future of the industry. Stay with us for the full analysis. Hollywood is gearing up for a significant cinematic reckoning in 2026, with studios reportedly pursuing high-stakes, franchise-driven projects aimed at reclaiming relevance. This year's slate is characterized by massive budget endeavors, which critics suggest are driven more by market analysis and corporate anxiety than genuine creative necessity. 5 films are currently at the center of this conversation, each serving as a test case for the industry's direction. Project Hail Mary, adapted from Andy Weir's novel, is highlighted for its potential to deliver a cerebral blockbuster. The premise: a teacher waking up alone on a spacecraft to save Earth from a cosmic threat, promises an engaging blend of survival thriller and scientific mystery. The casting of Ryan Gosling is seen as a smart move to ground the high concept with relatable vulnerability, though the key challenge for director Chris McKay will be balancing the film's scientific intellect with its emotional core, without becoming bogged down in technical details. Mortal Kombat II is positioned as a return to its roots, promising bigger action and a deeper dive into the tournament mythology. By embracing its violent, video game origins with a stylized, brutal tone, the film aims for cathartic fun, focusing on characters like Johnny Cage. However, skepticism remains high due to previous franchise missteps. The success hinges on delivering a coherent plot and relatable characters amidst the chaos. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow presents a distinct tonal shift for the DC universe, moving away from bright adventure toward a cosmic western and revenge story steeped in grief and moral ambiguity. With Millie Alcock's casting, there is potential for a mature, visually striking film that engages philosophically. Despite this appeal, it represents a monumental financial gamble for the studio, facing the risk of becoming another ambitious misfire. In the superhero landscape, Spider-Man, Brand New Day is framed as a grounded tonal reset, stripping Peter Parker of his high-tech baggage to focus on a lonelier hero rebuilding his life. While the back-to-basics concept is theoretically sound, expectations are low. The genre is perceived as creatively tired, and this shift is viewed as a predictable course correction rather than a bold reinvention. Finally, The Avengers. Doomsday is viewed by some as the epitome of overhyped studio machinery, relying on an unnecessarily massive cast and legacy actors rather than meaningful narrative choices. Marvel is positioning this film as a necessary consolidation, a chance to streamline fractured storylines and re-establish the MCU as a maker of cultural events. However, from a critical perspective, the prevailing view is deep skepticism, suggesting that the project risks becoming another oversized event struggling to justify its own existence. California gubernatorial candidates engaged in heated personal disputes during their final debate, largely avoiding substantive discussion on the state's critical Hollywood production crisis. The issue of declining production jobs, which have reportedly cost up to 50,000 jobs despite $750 million in annual production tax incentives, received minimal airtime. Moderators only asked 2 of the 7 candidates about their plans, and neither offered a detailed strategy. Key figures offered differing perspectives on solutions. Katie Porter stated that winning the competition was paramount and advocated for an unlimited, uncapped tax credit that should apply both above and below the line. Antonio Villaraigosa echoed this sentiment, arguing that jobs behind the camera are as important as those in front. Republican candidates also weighed in. Steve Hilton indicated he would consider a significant 60% tax credit, while Xavier Becerra and Tom Steyer have also suggested removing the cap, though specific details regarding below-the-line job protections remained unclear. Unions generally favored earmarking incentives for below-the-line work, contrasting with proponents who argue such measures would encourage production to occur in California. Amidst these high-stakes discussions, the debate focused heavily on personal matters, with candidates bickering over temperament, immigration law knowledge, and past statements. The focus on housing and healthcare overshadowed the industry's employment concerns. Beyond policy, the debate featured unexpected celebrity mentions. Discussions included which actors would star in biopics, with Antonio Banderas receiving multiple mentions, Clint Eastwood being referenced, Gregory Peck receiving a nod, Tina Fey becoming entangled, and Jason Statham being seen as a fit for Hilton. Mayor Matt Mahan offered a surprising, non-policy response, asking about Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Actress Eve Plum, known for her role on the Brady Bunch, has revealed that the power to say no was crucial in helping her avoid the pitfalls of child stardom and burnout. In an interview with Fox News, Plum emphasized the value of setting boundaries, stating, "I think that the power to say no is very valuable as an actor. And as a person, we always talk about setting boundaries." She credited her parents for fostering a strong family dynamic that ensured she had time off and guided her choices. Plum shared that her protective parents saved her financially and shielded her from suspicious situations. She also advised other child actors to seek out good protective parents and to be aware that fame is permanent. Plum reflected on the transition from child star to adult actor, noting the difficulty in this shift. She pointed to her 1976 role in the movie Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, as a pivotal moment. "I was really fortunate because it was such a departure from Jan, and that was a big shocker," she explained. "But it was great. Because it was the instant transition from Jan to adult, which is very difficult for a lot of child actors to make, because once you're not cute anymore, nobody wants you." Plum is currently sharing more details about her Hollywood experiences in her recently published memoir, Happiness Included, Jan Brady and Beyond. She stated that she finally decided to share her unique childhood stories in her own book, noting that looking back, the experience brings her joy. Plum's story serves as a testament that a strong family foundation can be a significant safeguard against the pressures of Hollywood. 7 California gubernatorial candidates engaged in a high-intensity, 2-hour debate on CNN, focusing significant attention on strategies to revitalize the struggling Hollywood industry. Amidst the competitive atmosphere, several candidates outlined plans to address production flight, with some proposing unlimited tax credits for film and television, moving beyond the current $750 million allocation. Former Representative Katie Porter supported such open-ended credits, arguing that the state must be competitive to retain its talented workforce and educational system. Former Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa also advocated for unlimited credits, but stressed that funding must be comprehensive, extending above and below the line to ensure broad industry benefit. The debate served as a major exposure event for the gubernatorial race, with candidates balancing policy discussions with attacks on rivals and attempts to shift polling positions. Leading candidates entering the November election include Republican Steve Hilton, who has gained traction following an endorsement from Donald Trump, and Democrat Xavier Becerra, the former Secretary of Health and Human Services, who has seen a rapid ascent in the race. Becerra faced pointed criticism from Democratic rivals, including San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, who cited past outcomes, such as the loss of 85,000 migrant children and healthcare system fraud, as evidence against Becerra's record. Villaraigosa also targeted Becerra, linking him to a pay scandal involving his former chief of staff. Becerra attempted to defend his record, denying involvement in the scandal and asserting that distorting facts is detrimental, while also cautioning against the use of political lies to attack opponents. Republican Steve Hilton was also a target, with Hilton criticizing the lowest tax rate among the candidates. Meanwhile, Steyer, the sole billionaire in the race, focused his platform on environmental policy, proposing measures such as a windfall profits tax on oil companies and supporting a wealth tax. An unusual moment occurred when co-moderator Kaitlyn Collins questioned Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco regarding his criticisms of Hilton, specifically addressing allegations that Bianco had called Hilton unethical and dishonest. Bianco acknowledged making the quote, but clarified he did not use the word swindle, though he agreed with the context. The debate concluded with candidates positioning themselves against Donald Trump's unpopularity in the state, with Porter stating simply that Donald Trump sucks. Despite the intense confrontation, Porter attempted to assert a measured temperament amid the heated exchanges.